Hey everybody, it's Chris. It's October 19th, so it's almost the end of the season. Just actually starting to think about doing tournaments this year. Life has really gotten in the way in some good and some negative ways. Some good and bad ways. But I'm finally looking at doing it in the bag. I've had some pretty big changes to my bag this year, so I'd like to talk about what's in there so you guys can see and ask questions about it. Just have that general conversation that I love to have. So if you have any questions or comments, of course put them below so I can get back to you and we can talk about what I'm throwing. But let's get started. First off, since they came out in December 2012, I've putted with judges. I usually come back, or I tend to come back to these classic whites. I've tried prime, I've tried blend, but classic just seems to be where it's at for me. And I tend to carry two putters. First one's going to be a nice fresh version. That's going to be my main putter, especially inside the circle. That's going to do the vast majority of my putting work. Second putter is going to be a more beat-in version, and this is going to be one of 4 very special discs in my bag to me. If you followed my channel at all this year, you know my brother David passed away on May 1st, and so this is actually one of his putters from his bag. He's had that pair since 2013, so it's pretty abused, and that actually worked out for me. I like to have a more beat-in putter for my long-range putter, my jump putter, etc. So that's what you're going to see me using it for. Yeah, it was. Alright, so with judges, I don't just putt with them. I've actually thrown them since they came out too. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with them. So I usually carry 3 judges in my bag just for throwing. 2 for putting, 3 for throwing. If it's a really long course, I might only carry 2. If it's a super short technical course, I'll probably carry 4. Now I like to have an understable, a stable, and a neutral. But if I am on that short course, I'll carry 2 neutrals that just split a little bit at the end. But in general, I'm going to carry usually a fresh blue blend judge. There's something about the blues, probably completely mental because I'm a little bit nuts, you know. But they just have a really nice stability to them, so I can throw them pretty hard and rely on that little bit of fade at the end. In the middle, I like to have like a neutral flyer, and this soft green fits that mold pretty well. When I throw it, it stays nice and flat unless I really snap it, and then it's going to turn over on me. But I can also angle control and get a nice hyzer line out of it as well. And then the final putter that I'm going to carry is going to be this soft judge. It's been in my bag since 2015. It's been in every in the bag video since then. It just gets progressively more beat up every year. People ask me why I don't carry an understable putter, and then they see me throw this and they understand. Super flippy, lots of fun, nice thumbprints, all that good stuff. So right in between the putters and the mids in my bag is the Suspect. Now, I had been running harps at the end of last year and the beginning of this year, but the Suspect was one of my brother David's favorite discs, and this is out of his bag as well. It was a disc that fit him great. He loved to throw them. For me, I just never clicked with it, but I decided after he passed, when I got my hands on his, that I was going to throw them. So this is a mold that I specifically carry for my brother David. I do throw them backhand, I do throw them forehand. They're mostly an approach disc, but I will throw them every now off the tee on a short. Hit the basket. Hit the basket! Suspect?
No. Yes. Short. Yeah.
Moving on to mids, I do carry, besides the Suspect, I carry 2 molds. I'm actually carrying the original Truths again. This is disc number 3 out of my brother's bag. It's an original first run Truth. When his wife let me pick one disc out of his collection, I picked this one because I knew how it would fly. Now if you're looking for the flight that I'm going to describe with this one, I'm definitely going to recommend Emax or even a Gatekeeper to you. But out of this disc, I can snap it hard, get a really nice flight, and just have it settle down nicely. It's a workhorse mid for me. You're going to see me throw it on if it's a little bit windy, I'll throw it on straight lines, and if it's not, I'll do a lot of angle control hyzers and that kind of thing with it. Paired with that is one of my first 2 Truths ever. This is one that I gave to my brother on his wedding day, actually, because it was beat in and he needed a straight flyer. So with his passing, I reclaimed it, and now it's my very straight flyer. You're going to see that on the course. And then the third truth I carry is a more recent run of truth, and this is Fusion even. It's a pretty understable. Like, you're going to see me throw it. This is almost warrant understable for me, so it gives me a nice range of flights with the truth with those three. And the last mid I carry is a Justice. If you've ever thrown a Justice, you know they do one thing really well. They dump hard. They're super overstable. If you need something that just is going to sit down fast, Justice is a good option. I either carry this cap shield one as Fusion, or I carry my red team stamp. I've carried both of them pretty much since they released, and they're holding up that stability beautifully. So one of those two. Moving on to fairways, this year I really decided that 9-speed and down is where I should be concentrating my game, so I throw a lot of fairways off the tee. On big wide open courses I'll still reach for a long range driver, but really these 9s and downs are where I've been throwing the vast majority of my throws. So let's start with the first one up. This is another one of the original releases from 2012 from Dynamic Discs, and it's the Escape. Now this white was beautifully pearly when I got it in 2015. I gave it to somebody, I don't remember who, they lost it, my number was still on the inside, I got it back, and it was really beat in, and I was so excited because now it's just this perfect hyzer flip disc, even to still a little bit of turnover. You're going to see me throw hyzer flips with it, you're going to see me throw rollers with it. This is my roller disc. It's just a beautiful flyer. Second up is the fourth disc of my brother's in my bag. This is a 167 pre-Sweden Escape, and this is just a straight line thrower. I can throw it in a straight line, I can hold an Annie line with it, I can hold a hyzer line with it as long as I don't crank out too hard. It's probably the most thrown driver in my bag. And then this year Lucid X dropped for the Escape, and I can't tell you enough how much I've appreciated this addition to the Escapes. I mean, I'm going to link my video to Escapes above here, but you're going to see just the extra stability that the Lucid X has over the other plastics really allows another dimension of escape throwing for me, and since it's a disc I love so much, that's a huge bonus. Shot, David.
Go bigger, get it up there.
Next up is the Getaway. Now, if that Lucid X Escape isn't enough, I'm going to reach for this yellow Getaway. It's been in my bag for a while, but it's still beautifully straight. Might tip up just a touch, but I know it's going to reliably fade. And then this white hybrid, out of the box, it was just a little more overstable than any of the Lucids I had, so I know I can throw it on big swooping hyzers and it'll come back reliably for me, or I can tilt it a little bit, tilt it for you a little bit, and I know it's going to come back to center. This is just a super reliable disc for me. I don't reach it for it super often, but it's nice to know it's there when I need it. Now my last fairway is the Felon. Until about a week and a half ago I would have told you it was the Pioneer, but for some reason the last couple of weeks I just wasn't throwing, or the last few weeks I wasn't throwing the Pioneer well, so I put the Felons back in just to try and get past that, and it really did work. So I'm carrying two Lucid X right now. There's another one that I might add, I'll show it to you later. I'm carrying an early run Oakley. I found it in a used bin, it's puddle topped, it's a little broken in, and it throws kind of like a proto for me, so I can just throw it out there really hard. I know it's going to be reliably, it's going to give me reliable fade. It's my more thrown in the Felons for sure. And then I have a last year's release of the Lucid X Felon. It's just my meat hook. I mean, it's probably too overstable for me in general, but that's nice because I know exactly what it's going to do. And that just leaves long range drivers. As I said with fairways, I've really reduced the amount of times I reach for the long range, and I'm actually only carrying one mold this year. I thought I was gonna just keep running defenders like I had, and then the recoil came out, and I really liked the recoil, and then the Raider came out, and I realized, man, that was a disc I really liked. So I'm actually carrying 3 Raiders in my bag for the vast majority of courses. I have a 166 Raider. Now this thing, even out of the box, had just a little bit more turn to it than any of the other Raiders. And I was noticing because of that turn, I could get it to flip out and it would just glide a little bit farther. I can usually get 20 plus extra feet out of this one, as long as it's not windy, of course. And it's more understable, so I can actually hold a big Annie line, and I can even roll it if I need to. The second Raider in my bag is an early release. This one's just got a little bit of bead on it. This is the one where I can crank on it with a little bit of Annie. It's going to drift out, but I know it's reliably going to come back. It's going to hold a line for me pretty well, and it's got still a decent fade to it. And then the third Raider in my bag is just a domier version of the Raider. And that means it just started out a little more overstable. So if I'm worried about a little bit of wind or something, I might throw this one. Or if I know I need to fade hard, this is going to be the one I want to put out there, just because I know it's going to be a little bit easier to predict where it's going to finish. Almost anybody's in the bag is going to be their normal setup, and I do have a few alternate discs that weren't in that simple setup. That's my 8 mold setup. I mean, you can see I've simplified quite a bit, but I do have a few molds that I'll throw in every once in a while if it gets super windy. The first one is the Verdict. Fits right in between the Truth and the Justice for me, so if it's windy or if I'm just a little bit, if I know I need something that just is going to fade a little more reliably, I might throw a Verdict in the bag. Second one up, this is just my favorite run of felons ever. This is a Misstamp Proto run. These opaque ones are probably my favorite throwers in general. And then for windy days, I have 2 molds that I may throw into my bag. Like I said, I was throwing Defenders before, so this Glow Lucid Sparkle Defender, metallic, is definitely an option. These are super overstable. I really can rely on them. And then the other one is the Lucid X Enforcer. So one of these 2 discs will probably get thrown in my bag if I know it's going to be super windy. Like if I was going to Kansas, I'd be carrying one of these 2 just in case. But in general, I like the 8 mold bag with just the Raiders and the long range driver, so that's my normal. I am carrying a Commander. This is my normal tournament bag. I'm carrying it for quite a while. It has all the bells and whistles I need for a full tournament, whereas in most rec rounds, you'll see me with just a basic trooper bag. I'll trim down a little bit, but that carries everything I need for most rec rounds. Add-ons, you always carry towels, and wheel sacks are always a bonus. Thanks, Tina. So that's it. That's my in the bag. As I said, please put any questions or comments below. I'd love to talk about why I'm throwing what I'm throwing, why it works for me, and how I made those decisions. So if you liked this video or enjoyed it, as always, please feel free to like it, share it, or even subscribe to the channel. But please do comment. I love getting back to you. Thanks for watching.